Chris G presents Super Mario World blind Kaizo race level by Chris G. It's a nice background. Mario 3ing. Welcome to week 14. Good luck, have fun. I do need some time before 6 a.m. to fix up some of the SQL queries, so. But other than that, back and forth forever. Alright. I think I see what they want. Oh, back and forth. I get it now. Basically, immediately. Okay. You know, SQL. I mean, basically the problem is I forgot to use the letter I in a few instances. So the autocutter will be confused, and I just need to update like 3 or 4 of these. It'll take me all of 5 minutes in Python, completely honestly. Doing it via the, like, SQL command line would be much worse because these are large JSON blobs. But if I just extract them in Python and then put them back, easy enough. And it's just a range. I'll be like, between this range and this range, change this one JSON value. How does this work? Oh, okay, this is not the end of the section. I'm glad I did the right thing there. Whoops. But yeah, it won't be a hard fix. Just mildly annoying. You're mad now? WSL container does not know LS? What? I've used WSL. I'm pretty sure I've seen LS a few times. No B-trees help me? Yeah. Worst comes to worst, you don't need LS. Echo exists. Just saying. There's a great old story about a Unix machine. Someone RF'd slash, and they basically thought they were hosed. It goes back and forth. But because some people kept shells open, they managed to restore the system back to working order without any downtime, which was important. Echo, LS, printf, yeah. Lots of good shell print built-ins. It's in theory a thing that in Unix you should have everything be orthogonal and like make a little command line app for all of these things, but nobody wants to do that. That's wow, what? Yeah, it's a good story. Pops up on Hacker News every once in a while. But basically the good things were, one, they lost like dev up to dev, I think, which was bad because you need stuff in dev to like run the tapes to do your backups. They also had done backups, but they only backed up every Thursday, and Thursday night, this happened like Thursday afternoon. So it really sucked for them. But the two things that saved them, one, they kept there were some shells still open. Could simply Control C. Yeah, this wasn't the kind and friendly Linux we have now. The other thing was they only lost up to dev, so like they didn't lose anyone's home directories, which was the really important thing. But they didn't have any of the useful binaries they were expecting to find. So one, there were a couple of useful things. One, someone had an Emacs instance open, which let them still type things in and save them. And another person still had a root shell. And so what they managed to do was someone else went and wrote a small as they could make it, assembly program that that renamed temp into dev or something, so they could actually start fixing problems. And then they needed to get like a specific application running again with permissions, and so they just overwrote one because they could do that with Emacs. Oh yeah, the small assembly thing, they didn't have assembler to do with it, so they ended up typing it in hex code. And someone happened to have a hex to binary thing sitting in their home directory that they could use. And so with all these little itsy bitsy pieces, they managed to put back together the whole, really a cool story. And one of those that probably did happen, there's a bunch of those that may or may not have happened. Like the story of Mel, who was a programmer for this weird British company that used, what was it? What was the exact phrase? It was core memory. Cylindrical rotating core memory. And so he would write stuff in a very specific way to optimize things so that he would always have the next instruction at the right spot on the drum when he wanted it. Which is insane, really, when you think about it, because you're basically optimizing for runtime versus location on a piece of cylindrical medium. I know, but what else can I talk about? We're talking about old coding war stories. Anyway, the best part of that story really is the phrase most pessimum, which is the opposite of most optimum. I keep doing that. I should probably pay attention to this instead of telling programming war stories. I also really loved the Magic More Magic story. Basically, on some large mainframey, like probably a VAX or something, at MIT, someone was doing some digging around in one of the cable closets and found a switch that was labeled Magic. And More Magic is its two positions. And he looked at it and saw that it was connected to nothing. Hey, midway! And so he flipped it, or connected to ground. So he flipped it, and the VAX crashed. Oh wait, no, what was it? There was one lead coming off of it, and there was no lead coming off the other body of the switch. So he's like, okay, well it doesn't go anywhere. So he flipped it, and immediately the VAX crashed. So he tells his friend about this later, and they go and look at it. They trace the wire, and it turns out it goes to the ground pin of the VAX somewhere. And they're like, well, no, it shouldn't do anything, so it must have been a complete coincidence that it broke. And they flipped it again, and it crashed. So at this point, they're convinced they've found something truly ridiculous. Oh, I don't want to jump up there. So they call over, like, the guy who's in charge of the system and shows him the switch, and he looks at it. He just dikes it out. Never really did bother investigating why or where or who put this switch in. Just the, it's not good for my computer, I don't need it there, kind of thing. It's also a weird phrase. You don't get to use the word diked very often. In this case, it just means kind of made separate there. Alright, what next? What? Guess maybe it's one of these up and down platforms and not a falling one. It did look like a falling one. Oh. Anyway, we chased that Kaiser dickety 6 miles, because it's stolen our word 40. And I had an onion on my belt, which was the important part. It was a big yellow onion. We couldn't get red onions because of the war. It's funny, I don't ever bother using onions. I don't want to use a whole onion typically, because like most of the time when you're cooking something for yourself and it's like a whole onion, you're like, a whole friggin' onion? That's a lot of onion! So you have to make something in a humongous size or not add as much onion. So usually I just try to find the smallest onion I can find. Yeah, okay, it was one of these. Okay. I did it wrong. Yeah, this time I found some, like, wacky Washington onion. But it was quite small, and by the time I'd used it, I had used roughly half of it. So I felt better about throwing away a relatively small amount of onion. Alright. It's still not ideal, but, you know, better than, like, here's a whole, like, what is it, like, purple onion? Because I just needed a tablespoon. I made you crave soup so you went and got some. Smart move. Not gonna lie, I've made myself hungry as well. Oh. Biscuit's probably right that I should go to Costco and acquire some amount of soup-making materials. It's one of those things I have a hard time with, is like, I don't want to leave my apartment with any, like, leftovers. when I go somewhere, because I'm gonna be gone for about 2 weeks. This doesn't make a lot of sense. Conveniently, I already have a list of, like, things I'm going to need to do on the East Coast that people want. So, like, I'm watching my sister's cats, because she's going to spend Thanksgiving with my father. And I'll get to stay at her place and not have to worry about things but cats. The problem is they're very demanding. They want their food when they want it. Thankfully, one of them is smart enough to realize I'm not going to feed them until I'm getting food. Okay. Not sure why I went for this. That was close. Only a tablespoon? Are you eating the rest of the side dish or just munching on it raw? I didn't do anything with it. Sitting in the refrigerator. I might do something. It's the problem with cooking for one, you know? One of the saddest books I've ever seen, saddest book I've ever seen, is Microwave Cookery for One. It's got this lady, old lady on the front who just looks very, very sad. But yeah. See what I do tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, tomorrow's D&D, so I'm just gonna eat my leftover soup and then I'm gonna go to D&D, and where there will probably be pizza. Those squiggles might spring for Indian food. You never know with squiggles. But that won't mean that it's not, like, the food I would choose, Indian-wise. Squiggles does not have the same sort of desire that way. Book of Bloomin' Onion? Actually, I think I had a book that did that. Might have had the book for that. So, forever ago, we purchased a book called, like, Top Secret Recipes They Don't Want You to Know. I point you to where this is on archive.org, but since archive.org lost their lawsuit, no one can check that book out anymore. But basically, the idea being to reproduce restaurant recipes. And the one that my mom wanted was the coconut shrimp that Outback does, which was actually pretty tasty. Okay. Just gotta remember what I'm doing near the end there. Yes, the Internet Archive lost a lawsuit. So basically, during COVID, they created this library thing of books that people could read because COVID and, like, the rules didn't matter anymore. The problem with this was, like, previously they had a library where, like, a digital library where they would do, like, one in, one out. If you checked out the book, that meant no one else could use the book. And they removed that restriction during COVID. Hello. Apparently people didn't do that. Huh, how you doing, Mr. Twister? Let me fix this. Keep getting raids when things aren't working right. Here we go, we'll give you the raid message. There you go. Thank you for doing it, Max. What were you up to? How was the raid? How was the stream? Thank you for the raid. We're just playing some old Romhack Races levels and talking about the Internet Archive having lost a lawsuit. I don't actually know if they lost or settled, but basically I can't check that book out anymore. That's the important part. But yeah, I used to be able to do that. Now it's a lot harder. Basically, the big book companies disagreed about this. It's UFO 50 and WoW Hooker. Oh, nice! What'd you play on UFO 50? I've played enough UFO 50 to know most of the games now. Or at least remember most of them. Beat floor 3 of floor 2 of Valverse. Congratulations, that is a feat. I felt like 2 was the worst floor, in all honesty. Like, I had a much harder time with 2 than any of the other ones. Oh, maybe that is good for a spin jump. Valbrace was up well. Which one's up well? I don't know. Find recent books on there sometimes? Yeah, but sometimes you can't actually read them, or they'll only give you a few pages. It's very dependent upon whether or not it's part of that library loaning system they had, or if it's just like, I uploaded this book! Which you catch occasionally. Tower Climber? Oh, I thought Valbrace was, No, I thought Valbrace was the Dungeon Crawler. Have I gotten them mixed up? Velgrass. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's easy to get those mixed up. No, Valbrace was definitely, like... That was, I think, the last game I completed. I beat 25 of them out of the UFO 50. I called it UFO 50%. And left it off there, being like, I might play more of this later, offline or online or something, but I've completed my due diligence here. But yeah, floor 2 I think was the hardest. I had a much easier time with the slime areas, because I understood what I was doing. I looked it up afterwards, I missed out on some, like, really important spells. Like, fly. And other things. I guess I shouldn't say too much, but, like, you definitely want to explore the space with Valbrace. I also missed out on a chance to Chariot, but I could go back and fix it, but I don't want to. One of your favorites, the pack, easily top 5. I don't know where I put it in my list. I did a ranking afterwards. I think Valbrace was solidly in, like, the A or B tier. Probably should have that somewhere. Oh, I know I have a picture of that. You know, it would have been smarter not to do that. Yeah, it's in screenshots for games that need them. Let's look at the UFO 51. Yeah, here we go. I don't need a link to the cell, I need a link. You're gonna put spaces on because you're dumb. Let's see, Valbrace. As the picture looks like a pig. Where is it? How did I miss Valbrace? Where is it in this list? I know I did this. Oh, I put it in B tier. Yeah, I put it in B tier. In case anyone wants to see, I guess. This was the ranking I did when I finished UFO 50%. I'm still happy with the last tier, which is Lunar Lander. It's like, yeah, whatever. I don't love this. I don't care for this. Just, I don't care for this. Yeah, I feel like there was some, like, if I'd spent more time and gotten used to it, like, maybe, but, like, there were so many that were like, yeah, I'm happy I'm not playing this. But there were so many I really enjoyed. Like, Night Manor was so good. Like, it's weird to see a game that kind of does the Shadowrun, or Shadowgate thing so very well in this day and age. Oh, I needed to jump. And I absolutely loved it. Also a lot of fun with Grimstone. Like, it very much captured that aesthetic of the NES RPG where you're like, wait, what am I supposed to do now? I don't think there any other ones. Like, Sunset Drive, absolutely loved that too. Whatever its actual proper name is, because I always forget. Mooncat? No. No. Just no Mooncat. I spent a while Mooncatting. And you know how disappointed I was? Like, it's called Mooncat, and it doesn't have the moon or any cats in it. Has neither of those things. So disappointed. I need to remember to hold B from there. Lunar Lander tier at the bottom. Yeah! That's how I feel about it. I just don't love Lunar Lander style games. It's not my jam. Like, I wouldn't say the Big Bell Race was like F tier or anything, but just, it was Lunar Lander. Like, the moment I played it, I know it's just not something I'm gonna care for. It's not like coffee. Like, I don't like coffee. I just don't enjoy the taste of it, unfortunately. I know what I'm getting into. There's no point in me ranking coffee lowly because, like, well, it's coffee. I know what I'm getting into. It's gonna be something I'm not gonna enjoy. It's unfortunate, but what it is. I didn't think I was gonna make that one. That was close to what I needed to do. A lot of people threw Big Bell Race in the lower tiers. Liked it a lot. I think so based upon a short play, yeah. Like Lunar Lander types and coffee. Howlucha is the anti-pad. Clearly. Oh yeah, I didn't spend that much time. I beat the Big Bell Race on the first try. But it was fine, and it's Capanella. It's very Capanella. Like, I get what they're going with that. It was their jam. I'd be curious to know which games were developed first. Actually, what's really interesting, in order to try to figure out a thing about the game, I'm not going to say much more because it's an interesting thing. I was watching their old UFO 50 trailer. They had one that was like 5 years ago. And the number of games they show off that are completed is show off in the thing is mind-boggling. An awful lot of them look just like the released version. It's kind of amazing. You're not just a dick, Fries. You also have a ball. I've been doing that too often lately. Devolution is from like 99. Oh, Devolution. That's one of the ones I wanted to like, but just could not get into it. When I was playing UFO 50 with my nephew, he really wanted to play the frog game, and I'm like, no, we're not playing the frog game, sorry. He liked the ball game, the Bushido ball game. That was his favorite. And being 3 now, it's one of those things you just have to indulge. Old Windows game called Dark Blue Lila. Huh. Devolution's not making that again. Oh, interesting. I've not heard about this. I am curious. My Abandonware is the best source of the information. Yeah, nope, that looks very similar in that it's a grid. Bushido Ball took a few tries, but then it clicked. I spent a lot of tries, and I never quite got to the point where I was consistent at doing anything. That's one of the ones I had, like, flagged as I want to beat this, and then I didn't. There we go. I'm still at it, yeah. I was gonna quit, but then I had momentum. Like Mario here. Good morning, Matt. Oh, good stretching. I got the 10. That's what's important. Kind of fun to revisit the really old ones. Credits? GG. GG, I guess. Sorry, no extra level. Took out for a Hark Bros sequel next year. Or look out for a Hark Bros sequel next year, though. Did that happen? Jump up and down and make the clappy boys clap for you instead. Clap. 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 The usual, I don't trust there's any... You know, I didn't even think about it. I just did. Oh, thought it was better than alright instead of feeling... Ah, okay. Got the cherries. Hark Bros 2, yep. This reminds me of a really dumb thing that I moderated way forever ago. It was like 3 cheers for Mario. Someone just dumped a bunch of chucks in a level without even trying to play it or test it. And it turned out that it basically did nothing. None of the chucks spawned because they also put like 50 keys on the left side of the stage. It was altogether a tremendous waste of everybody's time, both the makers and mine as a moderator. Whatever happened to them. But yeah, that was a fun level. I enjoyed that. The back and forth was really well designed. It was just a really great level. Like, it's almost like Chris G knows what he's doing or something. Wonder if he's still around at, like, I don't know, the Chris G spot or something. But that was fun.